In the book of Luke 18:1, Jesus said men always ought to pray and not faint. Men always ought to pray and not faint. Men always ought to pray and not faint. So that calls for prayer routine. You having a prayer routine. Men always ought to pray and not. It said, watch and pray that you do not fall into temptation. So if you are prayerful, that means the probability that you're going to fall into temptation will be reduced. After the temptations of Jesus, the Bible said that the devil left him for an opportune time. The devil left him to come back again at an opportune time. So that means if you are not prayerful, you only pray on Sunday, then the devil has like 6 days to come and tempt you. But if you are always praying, daily, you have a daily routine of praying, like the Jews, they pray 3 times a day. That means for the probability that the enemy will be able to make them to fall will be reduced because of what? Because they are always prayerful. They're always prayerful. God is calling you today. And the disciples, because they have been watching Jesus praying every time, and they came to him in the book of Luke 11. They said, teach us to pray, even as John also taught his disciples to pray. So John the Baptist also had disciples, and John the Baptist was able to teach them to pray. He said, teach us to pray. And Jesus said, our Father. When you pray, say, our Father who art in heaven. So you can see that Jesus told them to call God our Father. In the Old Testament, the people related with God through the covenant names of God. Even David himself did not call God Father. He said, my Lord. And the Lord said unto my Lord, Psalm 110, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. But in the New Testament, Jesus prayed differently. Jesus brought us to have a closer relationship with God. He said, when you pray, say, our Father. The people said his style of praying was different from the way the scribes and the Pharisees prayed. That's why they came to him. Teach us to pray. Teach us to pray. Teach us to pray. And Jesus taught them how to pray. In the book of Luke 10:19, Jesus said unto her, behold, I give unto thee authority to trample upon serpents and scorpions, and over every evil power of the enemy. That authority there in the Greek meaning means exousia. So Jesus authorized them to have authority over serpents and scorpions, to have authority over serpents and scorpions. So after Jesus had taught them how to pray, he also gave them authority to triumph over the enemy. In the book of Matthew 18:18, he said, whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatsoever you shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. That means they were exercising the authority that he has given